Welcome back, everyone. A rising death toll in South Africa. The number now stands at 72 dead. More than 1,200 have been arrested during unrest across the country after the jailing of former President Jacob Zuma. Rioting, looting, and death continues in the country in what's being called the worst violence since apartheid. Well, joining me now to give us a breakdown of the unrest we're seeing in South Africa is Tim Cox. He is Reuters chief correspondent there. Welcome to BNC Live, Tim. Thank you so much for joining us. You're on the ground there in South Africa right now. Give us a sense of what's happening. What time is it there? What's going on? Give us all the details.
It's 9:30 at night here in Johannesburg, and we're on the tail end of what has been a week of probably some of the most serious unrest that South Africa's seen since the final days of apartheid. There's been widespread looting across the Gauteng province, which is where Johannesburg is, and in the eastern part of South Africa, and centered around the port city of Durban. And it really has been absolute mayhem. There's been looting of shops. They've been setting fire to buildings. The police have just been seemingly unable to control the situation, and as a result of that, the president has now ordered many more troops onto the streets. There has already been a deployment of about 2,500 soldiers, but it proved to be not enough. They just couldn't keep up with the sheer numbers of people out on the streets, and so now they've deployed. Or are planning to deploy something close to 25,000. That's assuming, of course, that the rioting doesn't die down, because it has been a week now.
Tim, give us a sense of why we're seeing this happening. What's the reason for this? We know it's tied to the arrest of the former president. Explain why they're doing this and what they want.
So it started out as a reaction to the jailing of former President Jacob Zuma, and that was very much the initial push behind it. But it very quickly degenerated into looting that really, for some people, may have been to do with this issue, but that really took on a life of its own. And this is a country where, with one of the worst gaps between the haves and the have-nots, you have a sort of elite of people in the top 10% who are living a life that is very much as good as, if not better than, anywhere in the West. And then the rest of the country living in not complete poverty, but for about half the country, they're technically below the poverty line. And so really this is about inequality, and this is about anger at the ruling African National Congress that they haven't managed to address these issues in the 27 years that they've been in power since the end of apartheid. And there was someone that we spoke to today who was saying, actually, I wasn't really doing this for any cause. I'm poor, I don't have anything, and there was some stuff available, and the normal rules have been suspended, everyone else is doing it, so I just wanted to grab something.
Oh my goodness. So what do you think the current leadership should do to get this under control?
Well, it's hard to say, because it's questionable whether the deployment of quite that many soldiers, it certainly seems likely to calm it down if it's not already kind of fizzling out. But it does also create a kind of a sense of a police state that might backlash on the government a little bit. I think probably the president has suggested that this is a law enforcement issue, that he has also met with political parties to try and look at what they can do to get a message out there to encourage people to stop. But really, this whole thing has become so amorphous, right? It was instigated originally by or allegedly by some supporters of Jacob Zuma in the beginning, but now it's become something that really no one can control. So putting troops out on the streets, it might calm it down if they can be restrained in how they deal with it. But apart from that, really, it's really a case of it just waiting for it to fizzle out. Of course, a lot of South Africans have also taken the law into their own hands as well. You've had vigilante groups springing up. You've had not always in a negative way as well. Not all of them are armed. Some of them are just joining with police, helping them, track down looters in their houses, helping them protect shopping malls that haven't been attacked yet, but which might be. So there are signs that maybe this is turning. That maybe the people are kind of fed up enough with this that it might be running out of steam. That said, it stops in one place and then it seems to start springing up somewhere else. So it's hard to say when the end exactly is going to be in sight.
Well, Tim, stay safe. Thank you so much for staying up late there and joining us. And we, of course, hope that things get under control in South Africa. Tim Cox, Reuters chief correspondent for South Africa. Thank you so much for joining us.